Today, I'm going to read a Winnie the Pooh book in honor of our granddaughter, Charlotte, whose nursery is done in Winnie the Pooh. And this is a good lesson, even for the adults that might hear this. Make the best of it. When things don't go the way you plan, don't let that spoil your day. Just make things work the best you can. You'll have more fun that way. Oh my, I have so much to get ready, said Piglet, scurrying about his little house. He had invited his friends over for hay corn muffins. It was going to be a very busy day. Oh my, oh dear, worried Piglet. What shall I do first? He began by sweeping his front yard. Then he was ready to make the haycorn muffins. Piglet stood before his cupboard. It was looking rather empty. It was all out of flour and honey and acorns. Oh dear, said Piglet. I'll have to gather some acorns and borrow some honey and flour too. I hope that won't take too long. Piglet took his favorite basket outside, where a blustery wind was blowing acorns onto the ground. Piglet had quickly filled his basket to the very top when Tigger suddenly bounced over to him. Hiya, Piglet, old pal, Tigger called. Tigger's bounce completely emptied Piglet's basket. I was just gathering some acorns, said Piglet sadly. Looks like you got plenty right here, buddy boy, said Tigger. Hey, Tigger cried, gathering a bunch of acorns. Let me show you my basket-filling bounce. As Tigger bounced high into the air, he let go of the acorns, and they flew everywhere but into the basket. Well, gosh, said Tigger. I wonder what's the matter with those silly acorns. Let me give it another try. That's all right, Tigger, said Piglet. I'll just fill the basket myself again. Piglet hadn't planned on gathering acorns twice, and it took even longer to fill the basket this time. Oh my, said Piglet, it's getting rather late. I'll have to hurry if I want to borrow the flour and honey. Piglet took the basket home and emptied all the acorns. Then he ran over to Pooh's house. Pooh, called Piglet, may I borrow some honey? Why, of course, Piglet, Pooh said in a muffled voice. But I'm afraid that this honey pot is rather empty, sighed Pooh. It looks stuck. Let me help you, Pooh, replied Piglet. While Piglet pulled on the honey pot, Pooh pushed. After a sticky struggle, the honey pot flew off with a big, loud pop. Pooh reached into his cupboard and handed Piglet a small honey pot. Oh, thank you, Pooh, said Piglet as he hurried off. Next, he went to Rabbit to ask for some flour. Making your muffins? Rabbit asked. Do you mind if I come over and help? Oh, that would be fine, Piglet agreed. So the two friends headed back to Piglet's house. While Piglet mixed the batter, Rabbit read the muffin recipe. Let's see, said Rabbit. This recipe makes 9 muffins. That means we can each have one. Unless, of course, you make a double batch, Rabbit remarked. Then we can each have 2. Or a triple batch. Then we could each have 3. Rabbit was doing his muffin math. As Piglet listened to Rabbit, he was so busy adding muffins in his head that he lost count of the baking powder. He put 9 teaspoons in the batter instead of 4, and poor Piglet didn't even realize what he had done. After Rabbit left, Piglet put the muffins in the oven. The baking powder made the muffins rise and rise and rise. When Piglet opened the oven, he saw one big, gigantic muffin. Oh dear, said Piglet. Nothing has gone the way I wanted it to today. Piglet felt awful. His muffin party was ruined. Piglet stared hopelessly at his muffin cake. But he could break it into muffin pieces. No, he decided, that would look too strange. Maybe he could just send everyone home. No, he thought, that wouldn't be very polite. Oh dear, Piglet said to himself. What would Pooh do? There must be some way to save the muffin cake. I've got it, Piglet cried, and he clapped his hands. Piglet went back to work. He took out several bowls to make frosting in pink and purple and orange and red and green and blue, and Piglet took his time and frosted the cake very carefully. When Piglet was done, he stood back and looked at his cake. "Oh my, it's not so bad after all," he said. Then, with a smile on his face, he finished cleaning up. Minutes later, all his friends appeared at his door. "Those muffins smell absolutely wonderful, little buddy," cried Tigger. "Let me at 'em." "Well, actually," Piglet replied, "we're not having muffins." "Not having muffins?" gasped Rabbit. "Whatever do you mean?" Piglet led his friends over to the table, and nobody said a word. That is, until they saw Piglet's amazing muffin cake. "Why, Piglet," said Kanga. "What a beautiful cake." "I'll say simply splendiferous, Piglet, old pal," Tigger cried. Piglet had decorated a part of the cake for each of his friends. "The muffins didn't turn out the way I planned," Piglet explained, "so I tried to make the best of it." Pooh smiled at his friends. "You certainly did, Piglet," he agreed. And as his friends shared the muffin cake, even Piglet had to admit that it was the best hay-corn treat he had ever made. Lesson of the day, Pooh's way. When things don't go the way you plan, make the best of it.